Oh, you turned there. You are. Yay!
It works.
It worked. I'm like, oh man, I'm so old. I haven't done this in so long.
It's just one of those things like, you just reboot, you turn off, turn
Yeah.
back on. Like,
Just hold down the
it's
power
ridiculous.
button.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for joining me. I'm
Of
sorry, I'm
course.
coughing dramatic. So my name is Mallory Cywinski. I'm an agented author. I write literary fiction, and I'm joined today by viral sensation. I think I can say that. Poet Jessica Jocelyn, who is my favorite poet ever. We're going to get all into that.
Oh,
Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself, your creative process, all that good stuff?
if you hear anything weird, it's this guy right here running around.
Noted.
Yeah, my daughter told me that every girl deserves a black cat, so he's new.
100%. Oh, he's new? That's fun.
So my work, a lot of well, I guess all of it comes from just life. Um, it's almost like it was done by accident, just writing to process, a lot of things, and it ended up resonating with people. If it's one thing I've learned, if you think you have a unique experience, no, you don't. You will find somebody who's gone through the exact same thing. So it was almost by accident, just writing to process what I've gone through. And a lot of the writing has been done in real time, especially with the book about my mother, Stars at Last. I was writing it while she was
Yeah.
dying. And you can see the difference between Stars at Last and Paper Flowers because I'm writing it while she's dying. And then once she did die, it just opened up a whole another can of worms. I started to look at things a lot differently,
Yeah.
maybe even like a softer light, just more understanding. And also the grieving was different. I knew it was going to be tough. I just didn't know to that extent.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of my writing comes from real life, my
Oh, yeah.
crazy life.
Yeah. Well, I think like I could not agree more. A lot of what I read, I pull to process it. And it's almost seeing it through like a fictional point of view gives you so much freedom to explore. And it's like it's kind of like it's anonymous, but it's not
Yeah,
really. But if you don't know me or you or the author themselves, it just looks like another story. But so many people like it's. I started seeing your posts about your poetry. Oh my gosh, I don't remember when, but I think I saved every single one. Um, they're so and they're so accessible. I think a lot of people um, shy away from reading poetry, but yours are just so they cut right to the core. And I was talking to my partner about it, and you only have so many words to get across such
right.
a raw emotion, and you do it so well. And yes, I'm totally brown nosing you. um, and so this one in particular, I know you have several. We'll talk about those, but this in particular, Paper Flowers, was like, okay, I like put this down, and we'll get into that too. And I was like, in your DMs, I'm like, hi, I need to talk to you. Like, um, so this is poetry on the mother wound. What's the mother wound to you? How would you define the mother wound?
Hmm. I think it's almost so hard to define, but it's almost like at the core of us because we're born and before we even learn language, we understand touch or lack thereof. Our mother is our first home, our first love, or whoever played that role in our lives. And so we learn basically how to love through her. And going through childhood, with either the lack of her being there or, even if you had a really good mom, you can still, relate to disappointing her, the fear of that. And you think that you can leave all of that in childhood, like, oh, okay, I'm going to grow up, I'm going to move out, I'm going to have my own life. And that's going to be the end of it. And then you find out that pretty much every decision you make is subconsciously tied to her.
Yeah, 100%. You know, I have a background in human behavior and family studies. And I remember one time some class and someone was saying, like, you know, when you're parenting a little kid, the monster under the bed seems like a little thing at the time, but to the kid, it's a huge deal. That monster
Mm-hmm.
is real and it's under the bed. And like how many as adults, when we look back on what defines us, like how many things remind you of when you were a kid? As an adult, you know, I'm 42 and there are things that I still was telling. I was a chubby kid. I got called a butterball by some dumb kid hanging out the bus window, right? I still, when I see butterball turkey at the grocery store, and maybe I got issues, but
No. That's really that's it's true. It's true.
it's true. And these things, they stay with you. And like your mother, you're so hardwired to your mother, for better or for worse. And I just, the mother wound informs so much of my writing, and I didn't even realize how much it informed it,
Mm-hmm.
until I really was like reading your poetry and really thinking about how much it affects your adult life. Um, so why do you, and we might have kind of already answered this, but why do you think we're drawn to read about it, especially if we had pain around it?
Um, so when you're going through it, you almost feel like you're alone. You're alone in the pain. Your pain's unique. And when I published it, there were so many women who reached out that had been in similar, like their mother had died, their mother had committed suicide, and um, it's just the pain is not unique. You know, we all have a mother, and we will all one day lose her. And just speaking on that, it's just it's just wild finding out that all of the pain is not unique.
Yeah, yeah. That's quite a responsibility to get messages like that. Like, how do you process all that's got to be heavy, because it's almost like you wrote this and you published it. Are you kind of ready to be like, not moving on, but like have some space from it? But then once your readers start getting into it, how do you interact with those heavy messages that you get?
Yeah, so I think that I'm past like I think that they're just like pillars, at different points of grief. And when I look back on it, like I have some tips on um, grief. One of the back when I had a therapist, one of the things she would talk about is you would set aside like a certain time of day for grief. You would pick a specific spot, and you would allow yourself to feel, allow yourself to cry, and then you would set a time limit and then go about your day. Because most of the time we try to go about, our day and not feel it at all.
Yeah.
And it eventually catches up with you. And so I feel like I have, just here's, what worked for me. Maybe it might work for you kind of thing.
Mm. Yeah. Um, I haven't really publicly talked about this, but my mother passed away a month ago.
Yeah,
Um,
you said that. I'm really sorry.
Thank you. And it's again, it's not something I'm gonna make content about or anything, but I'll mention it here. Um, but it's it's weird because it's kind of like that first month. It feels like it's been years at this point. I kind of like we were estranged. We had a kind of troubled relationship, but it's still your mom. But I kind of laughed at myself because I'm kind of, when I'm into something, I am like into it, right? And I was like trying to fast track my grief. So
Yeah.
I like sat on my bed and I'd read this, but I was like, I'm going to read this from front to back. And I did. And some of them, like I have screenshots in my phone, well, not screenshot, I was taking pictures of them, but like I was a wreck, but it was that good kind of cathartic pain. Um, And I just like want to thank you for that, because I do feel like that particular reading session was so helpful in like processing just like that initial shock phase. Especially because I'm a mom too. So it's, you get that, not just losing your mom, but also like parenting through that. And especially I have this, and I'm sure people read this to you all the time. I see it constantly when I'm scrolling, but just your opening to the becoming section, it says, may they never have to heal from the way I love them. I'm not going to cry on an Instagram live, but like, I can't tell you how like that just hits so deep. And I think every friend I have who's a mother has felt that at some point. So
Yeah, because if you think about it, that she did love me, and that was the way she loved me. And I've got to spend the rest of my life, healing from that, because the healing will never be done.
yeah, yep. Oh, yeah. It's, do your kids, like, have they read, I'm sorry, how old are your children? That might be a stupid question.
They are, well, one's about to be 16, so we'll just say 16, 11, and 6.
Okay.
I don't think they've read anything. Well, my 6-year-old, she likes to read it sometimes and like make her own songs to it. But reading it seriously, no. They know that I write about them though.
Okay. Do they write stories too? Are they
Uh,
not so
that would
much?
probably be more my daughter,
Okay.
but not the boys.
Okay. I said your dog. I was like, okay.
Oh, no, I
Sounds
don't have one of those.
so when you, well, I guess I should back that up a sec. Are you a big reader yourself?
I used to be, not so much. I want to say even like becoming a mom, like it goes through phases, like when you have like time for it. So mostly what I is like Audible. Audible's my friend right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So listening to books is reading.
Yeah,
For some reason, that's a controversial topic
yeah,
these days.
it is.
All right. So how are you writing and creating with little ones?
So
Where are you?
I have figured I'm going to be tired anyway, so I might as well just use every time. What I have found, this doesn't work in all seasons of life. It definitely doesn't work with the newborn, but I get up before them every single day, like even on the weekends. So I have time to, get ready for the day, prepare for the day, and then that will be my time. They are all three in school now, so I do have that time. During the summer, I don't. I rely a lot on my husband. He'll take them to the pool, and then I
Yeah.
can start editing. But when they are in school, I have that time. When my daughter was not in school, because that's when I started writing after she was
Mhm.
born.
Yeah.
It was her nap time, and then I would stay up, past the time she went to bed. So it's it's hard. It's
Yeah,
hard.
it is. It is hard. And summer is great. And I think like that, the mom guilt, because hello, that's never goes away.
Yeah.
But that the guilt of like, okay, well, I really want to do this. Like, it must have felt so empowering and so like, when you really started to pick up in sales and shares and just the community that was built around your writing.
Yeah, because it wasn't something that I ever expected. So it's wild to me. It's something that my children like to remind me that um, I might not have been able to do that without them.
Yeah.
But it's something that I feel very, very proud of.
Yeah. And you really should.
Definitely.
Yeah. How like, tell me us a little bit about how did that happen? So you're self-published, right? It's not
Mhm.
traditionally. So like, walk us through, how did you want to query for an agent, or were you like, I'm always going to self-publish? What was
Um,
your mindset there?
when I found out about self-publishing, I was excited. I was like, oh, well, if you can do that, then I want to do that.
Yep.
And so I did that. I started building my brand, just being consistent, every single day. I was probably spending way too much time um, on these apps and just
Yeah.
figuring out how they work. And I was approached, by an agent, and I thought about it for a while, and then I said no. It just wasn't for me at the time. There's just something that it's a lot of work, but I like doing it all myself. I
Yeah.
like not having to answer to anybody, and I
Yeah.
don't know if that's like a childish thing to do, but it's something that I found attractive.
Yeah. I don't know if it's childish because I self-published 6 titles before I really went all in for traditional publishing, and it is nice. I think again, as a mom, it's nice to like have your own thing, and you're like, I'm gonna decide what the cover looks like, and
Mhm.
when it comes out, and I'm gonna like do this all myself and make this my own project. I think that's so cool. What was like your first moment or your first book of poetry that you were like, okay, this is for real. Like I am a writer. This is what I
Um,
do.
Probably my second book, Finding Daisies. I started it, my first book didn't have a lot of motherhood poetry, and then my second one started to get into it, and I started posting that, and it started resonating with a lot of other mothers, and I was like, oh, maybe this. I can do this. I can
Yeah.
connect, to other mothers, and
Mhm.
we can go through this together like a team. And it would definitely be with that book.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I mean. Like, I'm hoping. So, my book that I'm getting ready for submission is about a weird girl. Her best friend, she has a really hard time relating. She has a severe mother wound that is briefly in the book. It's there. The book isn't really fully about that. But essentially, her best friend is an AI chatbot. Um, and then the book that I'm working on now is almost, and I was talking to my agent, she's like, well, whoever is, if you're going to identify with the protagonist in the first book, it's almost kind of like they've aged up because the book I'm writing now is a lot about motherhood. Not so much a wound, but that kind of like that moment of letting go. Um, my son is 11 and we're so close, but he's pulling away like he should. And
Mm,
it sucks.
yeah.
um, So, like, any advice you have on that about surviving their transition where their friends are way
Um,
cooler than you is most
my
welcome.
my 11-year-old, he's probably my loveliest one, and he would still reach for my hand. And the first time he dropped it when we were at his elementary school, and I was like,
I know. I know. I
so
like
it's
some.
just you become very uncool, and like
No.
you become old, and it's like, oh, like, but they still like me, so it's okay. But it
Yeah.
sucks, yeah.
Do you ever want to be like, do you know who I am?
Yeah.
I am a big deal online.
Like,
I did.
okay, mom.
Like, okay, whatever. Boomer. Okay, boomer. I think
Yes.
they don't even say that. Oh my gosh. Um, So you write poetry. Would you ever write long form fiction or
So last year was a pretty rough year for me. I was dealing, so I had been diagnosed with OCD, and I didn't really understand that the things I was experiencing after she died was based upon that, and like the grief just looping and looping and looping until it was just creating all of these um, things in my life. And so I had, oh, the best idea for a science fiction novel. And I had written out like my characters, I named them, I was describing them, I was reaching out to my other, long form author friends, which books should I read to, research more on this. And I heard that Interstellar had like astrophysicists and stuff. It's like, well, I can't, compete with that. But I was just trying to do research on it. And then my mental health, it just got so bad that I had to scrap it for right now. But that's definitely something that I wanted to go back to. Like I still do want to go back to, but instead I couldn't. I
Yeah.
couldn't. Like, my hat's off to you for writing long form. I think that is so much harder than what I do.
Really? Because I think, I
Yes.
mean, yeah, it is, it's hard, but like I love it and I feel like that gives me more room to ramble. But like, I just, like I said before, it's like having so few words to just so succinctly deliver such a poignant and like delicate moment in a life. Like when I was sitting on my bed upstairs and just like let's just cut my heart open real quick and like let's feel it all like as soon as possible. Which I don't recommend.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't know. It was just really powerful and like I can't recommend this book enough. I was a manager at Barnes and Noble and like trying so hard to get the book on the shelves in my store.
Oh,
Like indie, it's hard, you know, like with self
yeah.
and
Yeah.
like
That's where you're limited. That's the
yeah.
one thing. Yeah.
And it's a shame. It's a shame because I feel like the world of readers is missing out on such talent. Um, and there's such
Oh,
like a
thank you.
stigma. Yeah, well, I mean it. Like I'm gonna suck up to you. I wear like my Jessica Jocelyn like shirt, my little flag. um, I want to see what else. Oh, okay. So it doesn't have to be all Debbie Downer because I think this is a fun question, and I feel very strongly about my answers to this prompt. So, best fictional mother and worst fictional mother.
Let's start with the worst.
And you can give top three. If it's
So,
too small to give top, because I hate when people are like, no, top three.
so the worst would definitely have to be Margaret White. You know, Carrie White's mother. And think I I think that would be the worst for me because I identify a lot with like religious trauma.
Ooh,
And just like the way she parented Carrie, it was so terrifying. Like she was a very scary character. Stephen King did a pretty good job with her.
yeah.
She
And
was
Mike
she was
Flanagan.
she was she's scary.
Yeah. All right. On that note, before we move on, one of my close friends wrote Holy Disobedience. If you have religious mama trauma, again,
Oh,
indie author,
okay. I'm
love
gonna
her.
message you and you gotta send me that
I will. I'll
because
put
I
it in
gotta read
stories.
that.
It's so good. I know her personally, and reading this book is like having a conversation with her, like so blunt and just so like, oh my god, I can't believe you said that. And like, it's just I can't recommend this enough. Just since you mentioned that, my worst mother, you win, and you blew my answer out of the water. But I don't know if you watch Shauna the Mom.
No, what is that?
Oh my god! So she's a creator. She actually follows you. It popped up and I'm like, oh, okay, it's Shauna Lander. And she does these skits about motherhood on all the socials, YouTube and Instagram and stuff. But the mother Barb, so the Shauna character's mother-in-law Barb is the worst. The worst. And they're real quick skits and she's so narcissistic and oh my gosh. I think you would enjoy it.
I need to look that up too.
Yeah, and like super entertaining, and she plays all the characters. Shauna, the performer, she plays. Oh, here we go. Oh, there's my agent. Hi, Gemma. So Lorelai Gilmore's a stealth bad mom, masquerading as a good one,
Oh,
right?
she's got a lot of stuff going on there.
That reminds me. So my son was like, mention this on Young Sheldon, Mary. Same deal. Because she like favors Sheldon over her other kids so much. I don't know if that's too niche.
I always wondered if it was because she knew he was different. Because I couldn't quite
Yeah,
figure her out.
but like at the expense of her other children. And
Yeah.
she's so like, I don't know, those bug eyes.
Actually,
Oh,
when she was played by Susan Sarandon, and she just really came across as just this